Hello folks, welcome to Legacy IS Academy. In this video, we will be discussing a current affair topic presented to you by your faculty, Sushma KP. So what is the topic that we will be looking into today? Manipur Naga economic blockade. So what has happened here? So I'll tell it to you like a story. So what happened was on May 13th, okay, a violent incident happened where three pastors were killed and 20 civilians were abducted. Now, eventually, they asked for your release of civilians. Partial civilians were released. 14 civilians were released. In the 16 of them, the whereabouts are still missing. Now, these six Naga civilians, including two pastors, and their whereabouts are not known. Now, they are claiming that, okay, Nagas are claiming that these people are held hostage by your Kuki militant groups. Okay, all this is happening in Manipur. Understanding? Now, what has happened? Your United Naga Council has given a deadline for your Manipur government to safely make sure these civilians are returned back home. Your government has been asking deadlines. As of now, they have asked two deadlines and missed both deadlines, and they have not yet found these civilians. Because of which, your United Naga Council has imposed economic blockade along your national highway. Looking at this in one front, another front is many of your civil society organizations, they have, okay, launched a series of protests against the government as to hostages are not be held, it is humans you are holding, not weapons. Okay, where is our government? All these kind of protest slogans are used. And also the civil society organizations are highlighting how difficult and anxious the families are of the abducted civilians. Now, if you see this blockade, which will be imposed on your national highway, will affect the movement for your Manipur. Okay, and not only the movement of Manipur, but also movement of essential goods, which also further adds strain on your resource movement, and innocent civilians will further be affected. Alongside this, Manipur already had an ongoing ethnic conflict, and now this further puts the peace and stability of the region in a scarce. Another aspect is the civil society organization has been asking both center and state to intervene into the situation immediately. Now, as per your constitution, Article 355, constitution places a role or duty on center to protect the state from both external as well as internal disturbances. So now what is needed means both center and state has to act together in order to first find these six civilians who are abducted and also make sure the economic blockade is removed so that the fragility of the area does not continue and a long lasting stable peace comes into this zone. Okay, now if you're someone who likes local news, national news, international news, then subscribe to Legacy IS Academy channel. We provide deep insights into these topics. Let's get into the video. So where did this issue happen? In Kangpoki district, which is in Manipur. Okay, so this hostage crisis unfolded on May 13th. Okay, when your uh, first I told the violent clashes where three pastors were killed. Okay, now after that 20 civilians were abducted. Okay, May 16th, partially your civilians are released. Six of them, including two pastors, are missing. Six civilians. So your United Naga Council has launched an inter-district economic blockade along your national highways. Your UNC is blaming Kuki militant groups as they are the ones who have abducted our civilians. And where are they doing this economic blockade? Along the national highways in Naga inhabited Manipur regions are now going to be blocked. This region is extremely important for movement, resources, your essential commodities to be moved. So this affects food, fuel and medicine supply across your northeast. Now both your center and state are in a very much pressured situation to intervene. Okay. What has triggered this blockade? Like I told you, May 13th, a violence erupts in Kangpoki district where 3 church leaders are killed, 20 Naga civilians are abducted. On May 15th, there is a partial release of 14 civilians, whereas 6 civilians with 2 pastors. Okay, they are still missing, and your UNC, United Naga Council, has been time and again telling that these people have to be returned back safely, or the consequences will be very dire. The government has asked for 2 deadlines. Now, in both of these deadlines, also it has been missed, which means the civilians have not yet been returned. Because of this, the rescue efforts failed. The blockade has been enforced effectively. Now, what does an economic blockade mean? Economic blockade means it is the restriction of movement of goods and services. This is one of the ways that is used to as a tactic for means of protest. Okay, why this particular economic blockade works? See, first and foremost, when you block highways and transport routes, especially in your northeastern regions, okay, you're stopping movement of food, fuel, medicine, goods. Your entire northeast will feel the brunt of this. The pressure gets escalated. Yes, that is why. So what will it lead to? Food crisis, shortage of essential, fuel crisis, supply chain crisis, a lot of public inconvenience. Okay, so the areas of your economic blockade is national highways in Naga inhabited Manipur, which affects your Kangpoki district corridors and hill supply routes. So this showcases that your highways are one of the tactics in protest is because highways are the lifelines of connectivity, movement, supply chain in your northeastern states. If anything gets affected here, then food supply to a lot of people will be affected. Also, the medicine delivery, military logistics, everything will get affected, which are much more critical in nature. So, who are the stakeholders involved in this? If you see, first one is your United Naga Council, which is demanding Naga rights protection and which has launched the economic blockade. Next is your cookie groups, which has been accused by UNSC as they are the one who have abducted the cookie militants. The state government is doing the rescue operations, but it has further requested deadlines. The central government also has been demanded to intervene by your civil society organization, and also according to Article 355, it is the duty of the center to protect the state from both internal as well as external threats. So I told you civil society is protesting where? In your Kangla Tongbi of Kangpoki district. Who are the participating organization? Kobru Range Lingamai Women's Union, coordinating committees on Manipur integrity. Okay, it's been the 4th day that they are continuing. Indigenous Peoples Forum Manipur, International Peace and Social Advancement. So these groups, what are they are fighting? Say no to abduction and violence. This is their protest slogans. Hostages are human, not weapons. And where is our government? They have also highlighted the anxious situations that the families of these victims are, the abducted people. So if you see your Manipur ethnic conflict, this is not new. This keeps happening. The main groups, if you see, who's inhabiting Manipur means, it is your majority Métis, then is your Kukizos, next is your Nagas. So usually your disputes break down among these three. For what? If you see land, tribal autonomy, okay, identity politics, resource competition. So these are the things usually they fight over. Also, this is having security issues with respect to your cross-border insurgencies also. So if we see some constitutional provisions with regarding to your northeastern or your tribal areas, first is your sixth schedule, which makes sure that that grants greater tribal autonomy, and it also has your hill and valley administration divide. Next is your Article 355, which is to make sure or place impose a duty on center to protect the state from both internal as well as external threat. And lastly, internal security with respect to your ethnic groups which are armed, which then keep creating violence in this place, which is further becoming difficult for your government to let's say de-escalate this scenario. Okay. Now, if you see from humanitarian ground or governance challenges, from the civilians' perspective, there is constant fear, panic. Okay, there are psychological trauma, displacement issues, and also issues with respect to your fuel, food, medicines. Okay, these are cut off. Movement is affected. So, especially with the hostage crisis, it furthermore escalates the situation. From the governance failure perspective, you see this leads to slow conflict resolution, inadequate intelligence response, and also one more important thing that we are seeing here is delayed rescue operations. Okay, so what can be the way forward? First and foremost, immediately safe rescue of all these six civilians. Neutral peace talks should be started, and security deployment has to be increased and withdraw the blockade, economic blockade. In the eventual long term, what can you do means have an inclusive political dialogue, go for a balanced regional development, go for community reconciliation projects, better policy coordinations. Okay, so what is the takeaway from this? If you see, Manipur conflict not just threatens Manipur but the entire stability of Northeast because of the spillover effects. Civilian hostage crisis, uh, any forms of civilian hostage crisis anywhere requires immediate attention. Economic blockade harms the civilians, innocent civilians the most, and ethnic harmony is very much needed. And also, center must also make sure its obligation under Article 355 is fulfilled. With this, we've come to the end of the content. If you like our content, subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, share it along with your friends. Thank you.